So, you want to get your website, your business, or hey, maybe just your own name right to the top of Google? The journey to get there always starts with this one big question. Can you really teach yourself SEO? Let's dive in and map out a clear path forward. If you've started looking into SEO, you've probably felt that tsunami of information hitting you, right? There's so many terms, so many tactics, and a million different opinions. It's so easy to get, as one expert put it, destroyed by a lot of information. But is it really as tough as it seems? And there's our answer, right there. The message here is actually super encouraging. The real barrier isn't some secret handshake or hidden knowledge. Nope. It all comes down to putting in the time and, more importantly, the practice. So let's just get this out of the way right now. Yes, it's absolutely possible. Okay, so to avoid that whole drowning in information feeling, you need a roadmap. You need a step-by-step guide that takes you from total beginner to someone who has actual practical skills. So let's build that roadmap right now. First things first, what on earth are we even talking about? Well, at its core, SEO is really just the process of making your stuff, your blog posts, your product pages, your videos, as clear and attractive as possible to search engines. The whole goal is to be the #1 best answer when someone searches for what you've got. Simple as that. So, where do you even start? Well, the best way to tackle this is to break it down into 3 main pillars, and you gotta do them in a specific order. You always start with on-page SEO. That's the stuff on your actual pages, because honestly, it's the most beginner-friendly. Once you've got a handle on that, you can move to technical SEO, and then finally, off-page SEO, which is all about building your reputation across the web. All right, you've got the roadmap, you know what to learn. But now, how do you actually travel it? This brings us to a huge decision every beginner has to make. Are you going to invest some cash in a course, or are you going to forge your own path with all the free stuff out there? And look, each path has some pretty clear trade-offs. The free route, it's awesome for getting the fundamentals down. There's a ton of content on YouTube, but it can be kind of surface level, and you're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's good advice versus what's junk. The paid path, though, can hook you up with a mentor who's actually worked with real clients. That gives you deep, practical knowledge from day one. It's basically the fast track to learning from a real pro. If you do decide to start with the free route, here are some seriously recommended names to get you going. These are people and companies that are really respected in the SEO world. They offer a great mix of the basics and, this is super important, updated tactics that actually work today. Watching videos and reading blog posts is one thing, but SEO is a hands-on skill. This brings us to probably the most powerful idea in this whole roadmap, a 1-year challenge. It's all about turning theory into real, actual experience. This is where the learning really kicks in. And this timeline just lays it all out perfectly. The key here is that you don't wait until you know everything, because you never will. You learn and you do at the same time. You start a project, like a simple website about a topic you love. For a few months, you soak up all the theory. But for the rest of the year, you are actively building, tweaking, and solving real-world problems. Your goal isn't just knowledge, it's a data-backed case study. And that right there is the absolute key. Anybody can say, oh yeah, I know SEO. It's a crowded market. But very, very few people can say, here's a report on what I did, what actually worked, and the results I got over the last 12 months. That is what makes you stand out from everyone else. So after all that work, the learning, the practicing, that whole 1-year challenge, is it even worth it? Especially now with things like Google's AI making the whole field feel even more complicated. Let's look at the balance sheet here. The value is undeniable. You can build a personal brand, you can grow a business, or you can start a whole new career. But the challenges? Oh, they're real. The game is getting more complex, and the market is absolutely flooded with so-called experts, which makes earning a client's trust harder than ever. And that's exactly why that work report we just talked about is so incredibly vital. So who really stands to gain the most from all this effort? Well, for business owners, it's a direct line to new customers. For anyone building a personal brand, it's all about visibility and authority. And for you, aspiring freelancers, the value is huge, but it comes with that one critical condition. You have to have proof that you know what you're doing. If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this right here. Certificates are fine. Theory is necessary, But in the world of SEO, real tangible experience backed by data, that is the only currency that truly matters. That's how you prove your worth. So, the answer is a big, resounding yes. You can absolutely teach yourself SEO. The roadmap is laid out, the challenge is set, and the potential payoff is clear. The only question left is the one on your screen. What are you going to optimize first?